So I lost 30 pounds in 4 months by eating more than I used to when I was gaining weight. Yeah, you heard that right. I ate more to lose weight than I did when I was gaining weight. So at the very end, by the very end of this, I'm going to give you the secrets on how I was able to not only eat what I wanted to eat, but get full at every meal, not have to starve myself, and really look forward to what I was eating. So before I hired a fitness coach to lose the 30 pounds, to teach me how to eat and lose the 30 pounds, I struggled with losing weight. I was that mom that tried not to be in pictures. I was that mom that, you know, every time we had to go somewhere, I would dread it. I used to totally what I wear. I used to put on like the baggy t-shirts and just kind of try to hide my stomach and pulling up my shirt. Like I try to hide my stomach, so I wear a really loose t-shirt with the really loose sleeves so you couldn't see like the flab on my arms. But it was painful. Like it was just, I hated going out and meeting new people. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. It was hard. It was hard. I didn't like what I see in the mirror every morning. So I had gotten to the point where I was like, enough. I need to learn what I'm doing wrong, how I can actually lose this weight, because I'm not able to do it by myself. I'm not able to do it without somebody who's gone through it. So I hired a fitness coach. She taught me what to eat. She taught me what macros are, how to hit macros, how to count calories and make sure I was eating certain things. So we're gonna go over what I eat in a day, and I'm gonna describe to y'all for free right now in this video. I'd start off my day like 3 a.m., get ready, and then I would head to the gym at about 4, but I'd go to the gym fasted. So meaning I would not eat anything for breakfast before the gym. After the gym, come home, I'd make a protein shake. So a protein shake was almond milk, the 30 cal almond milk, either unsweetened or vanilla flavored, but either way, it's the 30 cal. And then also in the blender with the 30 cal of almond milk was the triple zero oikos, the yogurt. It's sweeter than the other Greek yogurts without having all the processed ingredients, right? And without having the carbs and all the no fat, 000. So it's the best yogurt out there to mix, my opinion, other people's opinion. But that's what I was putting in the blender. And then also with that, like 30 grams of blueberries. Yes, you're gonna measure it out on your little food scale. So about 30 grams of blueberries, and then also whey protein. Now I'll put up, you know, here on the side, my ingredients and exactly what protein brand I was using, but you wanna make sure it has low carb, low cal. Like the nutrition facts on the back of your food labels, people are gonna be really big when you're losing weight, okay? Because you really need to watch those things. It's really important if you're really serious. So, and I was really, really serious. Because like I said, I was done gaining weight. Like I wanted to lose this weight finally. So I got serious, really looking at my labels. So that's what I was doing for a protein shake. And I put it as a snack on my food app. Because the app I use, I'll put it on here too, MyFitnessPal, is what I use to track my macros. For real, my first meal would be later in the morning, probably 8 to 10, the later the better, for me, my opinion. So for breakfast, I was doing the same breakfast for a long time and still looking forward to it, mind you, really looking forward to it. But like chopped up potatoes, I peel a potato, chop it up little pieces, bake it. So put it on a baking sheet in the oven on, let's say 450, 15 to 20 minutes. And give the little bits a nice crisp. So I throw that in a bowl, and then also making chicken to go right with that, right? So baking chicken in the oven as well. No grease, okay? We don't want the unhealthy oils. We don't want the processed things, y'all. So I was baking that in the oven at 465 for 25 minutes. And halfway between, I, flip over the chicken. But after that, I chop the chicken up small, and I could put that in a bowl as well with the potato. You can eat it separately. But that was breakfast. That and whatever warm I was drinking, whether that was the Ovaltine or coffee with some creamer. But that was breakfast. And then later on for lunch, mind you, I chose to keep lunch a certain way. I didn't want a huge lunch, especially if I'm still busy, running around, doing errands. So lunch could be like 1 o'clock, maybe even 2. So 12 to 2 might be lunch. But lunch would look like a really big salad, or you can do like a salad. Because for my preference, because you want to add as much greens to your diet as you can, right? So being a picky eater coming from processed foods, I'm not big on a lot of greens. I'm still getting used to it. So I was doing spinach. with Italian dressing on it. Measure out my dressing, put on there, and then I'll crunch on some croutons, make a big one of that. The lettuce, the spinach, I was making 30 to 40 grams of spinach, measuring out the Italian dressing, and that was lunch. Mind you, you can also cook some chicken for this, throw on an ounce or two of chicken, just make sure it fits in your macros, whatever your macros are. Stopping there, you're like, what are macros? How do I know how many? So if you look in the description, y'all, join my community. We can talk about your macros, your calories, okay? So we can get you on track to losing, your goal, hitting your goal weight according to a certain amount of macros. But with the macros I had, the calories I was on, I would situate what I was going to eat for lunch. That looked like, for me, a spinach, some occasionally chicken on it, chopped up chicken. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I was getting full because I was still somewhat full from breakfast. I wasn't just all the way starving yet. So I was satisfied on that as far as for a lunch. So moving on to dinner at about 5 or 6 o'clock, depending on when I was going to sleep. So I eat my last meal 3 hours before I go to bed and not any later. Like, I don't want to eat 2 hours. I don't want to eat at 5 and then go to bed at 7. If I eat at 5, my last meal, I'm not going to go to bed any sooner than 8. See what I'm saying? That's for metabolism wise. That's for digestion. So my body can digest the food before I lay down and expect my body to get sleepy, produce enough melatonin. It's a whole thing. But that's what I do. That is what's worked for me. So dinner could look like, dinner was a couple servings of broccoli. I love broccoli personally. It's the one green that I didn't eat as a kid and I didn't know I liked till somebody told me to try it. My coach told me to try it, so I did. I put it in the oven on a baking sheet. I let it get kind of crispy, kind of brown. I'll season it with some Lawry's, some garlic powder. Like, I'll really season it up, but I love broccoli. So I can do like 200 to 300 grams of broccoli for dinner, plus, I'm not done, some more chicken. I'll do chicken and rice. So that'd be like 4 to 5 ounces of chicken. And the rice, I do about 120 grams of rice. And that was a full meal. And mind you, dinner was one of my favorite. It was my favorite time of the day as far as meals. See, I don't even know I'm smiling now. Like, I used to get excited about my meals. And I still do. But that was the same. I repeat the same meal. Not for the whole 4 months. I'd switch it up a little bit, but you don't get bored. People say, oh, I'm going to get bored eating the same meal. That's crazy. You really don't. You look forward to it because you're seeing the results of eating those meals. Unlike when I was gaining weight, trying to, starve myself, maybe skip a meal, gaining weight. Yeah, that's torture, and you don't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that, especially here at the age of 41, like perimenopause kicked in. Back when I lost the weight a year ago, being 40 and just really metabolism was slowing down and just gaining weight and eating less. It was crazy. So you don't want to do that. And you don't have to do that. Learning to eat this way, I was like, okay, I'm able to eat more and lose weight. Awesome. So that's what I was doing. Really looking forward to my meals. So that was dinner. You can switch it up. I was doing, like I said, chicken and rice most nights, but I started doing chicken and protein pancakes or protein waffles, which is really good. The Kodiak pancake mix, I'd put that on like a waffle grill. You could throw some protein powder in your mix as well, some extra protein, but this isn't hard. It's my tattoo. What does 30 pounds look like visually? So when I say I lost 30 pounds in 4 months, I did, and I have the pictures before and afters, the timeline pictures to prove it. I'll throw those up here. But visually, this is what losing 30 pounds looks like. If you incorporate, things I help you, things I tell you to eat, hitting these macros, eating a certain amount of calories per day, your body's going to transform, just like mine did. And you will want to take pictures. Yeah, I'm going to give you a timeline of mine. This is what 30 pounds, y'all, over 4 months looks like. And I didn't just eat better, hit macros. I was also working out, okay, every day, at least 6 days a week. At 41, I didn't want to be just, loose skin, because that's what'll happen, right? You lose fat, you lose muscle, you're going to be loose skin. You want to lose fat, you want to retain muscle. So you need to work out, you need to lift. And y'all can do it too. Anybody can do this. Strength training is going to be huge, huge, huge. But nutrition is king. Yeah, nutrition's big, y'all. So this is that transformation. Anybody can do it. Join the community. We're going to talk about food. We're going to hold each other accountable to eating right, hitting macros, hitting the workouts. It's a whole vibe. But a way I was able to eat what I wanted and still lose the weight, if I was going to eat fries with my kids, like I was making my kids' family fries or something I don't usually eat, I would account for it in my, in my Fitness Pal, my app that's tracking my macros. Add it in there. And then you might need to substitute it for something you were going to eat later so you could still fit it and hit the macros. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to totally restrict myself. I'm not going to make it so I dread eating certain things, not getting to eat certain things. That's not the lifestyle you want to get used to. You don't want to make that a habit. You do want to make it a habit to eat better, watch what you're eating, and that's what this is, okay? So this isn't just a diet. This is going to be a lifestyle. So what you're eating now, you can switch it up, add to it, take away from it, different variants of it, different forms of chicken, different forms of meat, protein. Because like I said, I was used to the chicken, but you can switch it up for turkey, like a 93.7 turkey or ground turkey. I had a friend that did a lot of ground turkey. You can switch it up for that. Ground beef, which I do now, but it has more fat in it. Even if I do the 96.4 ground beef, it does have more fat than chicken. So I really, have to watch my macros with that. If I was still on the strict, hitting the macros, counting everything out, you want to be aware of what you're putting in as far as which protein source. But y'all, I'm really able to eat whatever I want, just account for it in other ways, still hit my macros. So it's not hard. It doesn't have to be super restrictive, but you do have to watch what you're putting and consuming in your body. It's that easy. And then make sure you're working out. So this is what I eat in a day. This is how I lost 30 pounds in 4 months. Y'all can do it too. Got any questions? Put them in the comments. Other than that, you're on this journey too. I can help you. Other women in the community can help you. Hit the link, join up. But also, I'm going to be giving you other things on this channel, recipes, workouts, the habits I had to incorporate to continue to maintain the weight loss. Like, you really become a different person, and we're going to talk about that all throughout this channel. So subscribe, like this video, and I will see y'all in the next video.